Politically, we believe that our immediate step would be to correct the worst anomaly of the 1957 Constitution by breaking down the country into smaller units or states. In other words, the 4 regions which existed till January 15, 1966 were to die instantly, and on their dead bodies were to emerge 14 states, each of which will be coterminous with 2 of the former 26 provinces of the Federation except Sokoto and Oyo states, which were to be coterminous with 1 province each. In effect, there will be 7 states each in the former North and South. These were to be governed by military governors. So they're going to create 14 states, 7 in the North, 7 in the South, but those states would have military governors. We also believed in the immediate release of political prisoners of those days, namely Chief Awolowo, Jakonde, Anthony Naoro, Onitiri, Omishade, and so on. As we saw it, these actions would bring immediate relief to the suffering masses of the West and North and would generate peace and concord throughout the Federation. What the man mentioned in this book, why we struck, what he said was that they wanted to release political prisoners. That's the ones that are very ideological, or not the ones that went and made everything tribal. But even here, you don't see the claim of Awolowo becoming the president or Awolowo sending people. So for instance, there are a lot of nonsense on social media these days. Awolowo planned the coup from prison. How? The coup took place on January 15th, 1966. The first time that claim was said in public was in 1967. Nzogu was interviewed by Tai Sholari, and it was in that interview in 67, more than a year after the coup, that he mentioned that, oh, listen, we wanted to actually install Awolowo as president. And by the way, the people who keep repeating this thing are Igbo people. In a stark contrast, none of the Yoruba officers involved in the coup ever mentioned such a plan. In other words, read the book here. They did not say they were going to make Awolowo the president. That is propaganda from Eastern Nigeria. It's propaganda from Biafra, from Igbo land. There is nothing like Awo was going to, because if you can get this book, please do get it. We may not get into everything, but whatever we can read, we'll read. For instance, the preparation for the coup, the plotters, the motivation, the ideology, and the one I really want to read is the D-Day. We're going to get to that. He never mentioned. Now, they will tell you that the reason is because, let me tell you what they do. Number one is because of Awo. Go and read Adéwálé Ademoyega. He's not Yoruba. He was not part of the coup. Read this book. They know you will not read it. And let me tell you something. The person saying it has never read it. But because you hear Adéwálé Ademoyega and he's Yoruba, the Yoruba person says it. Meanwhile, you don't even know that Yoruba person did not even say it in his own book. They just whip up, they just use that name as a weapon. Anything can be a weapon in the hands of a propagandist. They just wield it anyhow. It could be an information, it could be your identity, it could be anything. Awolowo was not the reason for the coup. Why is this important? The very first place where you see the idea of the coup being organized in order to install Awolowo was in a publication that was made by the Eastern region. It's a state-sponsored lie. The first place on earth where anybody heard that the coup was to install Awolowo as presidency was in a publication by the Eastern region themselves. They sponsored the lie. 18 months after the fact. Whenever you hear that Awolowo was going to be the beneficiary of the coup, just remember that you are listening to Ojukwu, you are listening to Biafrans, you are listening to a state-sponsored agenda. That even the planners of the coup did not have it in their minds when they were planning the coup. And you will notice that the people who say these things are from one part of Nigeria. The part where they were intentionally indoctrinated with propaganda and falsehood. So to be clear, this person is one of the 5 majors who planned the coup. He did not say they were trying to make Awo president of anywhere. As a matter of fact, he talked 2 things. Number one, he talked about military governors. When you read the speech, that Nzogu's speech, he mentioned a military solution. It's not about trying to, we have conquered, we're not going to bring Awo to become president. How now? From everything we've read about this man, does this sound like a person that wants to work with politicians? Are you not hearing military, whatever, all over Africa, and we're trying to do exactly the same thing, where the statesman would emerge from the barracks? Which barrack is Awolowo going to emerge from? Of course, it's not. They're not thinking of a politician becoming a beneficiary of whatever they were doing. They were thinking about what they wanted to do, which was to take over power and change Nigeria and remold it in their own fashion and design. I'm going to just read that part again. The states were to be governed by military governors who would be chosen on their merits and loyalty to the revolution. We also believed in the immediate release of political prisoners of those days, namely Chief Awolowo, Jakonde, Anthony Enaoro, Onitiri, Omishade, and so on. As we saw it, these actions would bring immediate relief to the suffering masses of the West and North and would generate peace and concord throughout the Federation.